inning game. It wasn't a whole lot of scoring, but your Houston Astros did it. They are going to the ALCS again, Brett. How are you feeling?
Oh my gosh, we went to our live event at 12:30. We have been at the restaurant for 8.5 hours, bro. 8.5 hours. I went to the last 18 inning game and I was there. Oh my goodness, Eric. What a way to end it. Luis Garcia, 5 innings. Jeremy Pena, the rookie. When Jose Altuve looked baffled and miffed and confused. What in the world? Like, this is amazing. Like the title says, sweeping in Seattle. Let's talk about it on this edition of ALCS, 6 straight times, Locked On Astros.
Hello and welcome to Locked On Astros, your daily Astros podcast. Here are your hosts, Eric the Man Huysman and Brett H-Town Wheelhouse Chancey.
We are Locked On Houston Astros, and we hope that you join us for a daily Locked On Astros podcast. My name is Eric Huysman. You can find me on Twitter at Eric Talk Stros. Find the show at Locked On Astros, your team every day. Brett, where can you find you at if you're not at Hooters?
They can find me at H-Town Wheelhouse on Twitter, Instagram, on TikTok. You can find me at Stros411 on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Always positive, always beating the Mariners. Always Stros. CS what? Sink.
Alrighty. Wow, this game was just awesome. I mean, it was very nerve-wracking. There's a lot of, like, you had bases loaded at times. You had runners on second and third, and the Astros stranded runners, and it's just very frustrating at times. And it's just like, come on, do something. But at the end of the day, Jeremy Pena did something in the 18th inning. It's very reminiscent of Chris Burke in 2005 in the 18th inning. And Sully at the Locked On MLB podcast says, what is it about the Astros and postseason games? Why do y'all like the extra inning games? Trust me, we do not like this. We were just stressing out and being like, okay, what's going on? But thank God for Luis Garcia. He came in and dominated the Mariners. The Astros bullpen had a total of 12 innings total. And it was, just think about that. 12 innings.
Okay. So Eric, let's go through some of these things. 42 strikeouts total. Lance McCullers Jr., 7 strikeouts. Kirby, 5 strikeouts. The Astros relief pitching, Neris, Montero, Presley Abreu, Stanek, Brown, and none other than Luis Garcia, who got the win. Might I add, this game was insane. The numbers too, Eric. I screenshotted TBS earlier tonight, and at one point, Chas McCormick was up, and I don't see what inning it is because I took a side shot of it. At one point, there were 117 plate appearances, 15 hits, 2 extra base hits, 39 strikeouts, and 4 walks. And that was before the end of the game. I believe that was the 17th inning. Eric, Jose Altuve was 0 for 8 today. Jeremy Pena was 1 for 8. Yordan Alvarez was 0 for 7. Altuve, Pena, and Alvarez had 23 at-bats and only 1 hit. And it was the 1 hit that mattered.
Yeah, Peña was 0 for 7 before that home run. And we're like, okay, well, the Astros, if you have Altuve, Peña, and Alvarez all with 0-fers, yeah, you're not going to win that game. But Peña came through when the Astros needed it the most. And it was as soon as he hit the ball, I knew it. I think the whole stadium knew it, and they didn't pan to the fans or anything like that. But I know if they did, that you'd see their jaw drops, because throughout the whole game, you saw the people putting the shoes on their head, then putting the rally towels on their heads and all that. And I'm like, what is this? Is it rally shoe? Is it rally towels on the head? That did not work for you guys. You're supposed to twirl it. That's how you're supposed to do it. And you're supposed to wear
So look. So this is how you twirl a rally towel. This is not how you twirl a rally towel. You don't twirl it backwards. You don't do this. You twirl it. These are lessons from a team that has gone to 6 straight ALCS. Let me just tell you this, dude. This is the kind of game that actually plays into the Astros' favor, Eric, because of their bullpen.
Right.
And I wondered at times if Dusty was changing guys in and out too much because nothing was happening. But you have to tip your hat because he put the right guys in at the right moment. When Stanek didn't go in at first, we're like, what the heck? Hunter Brown came in, admirable job. I mean, imagine the pressure that this has on a rookie, okay? And then the game comes down to a guy who was on the taxi squad last year, Jeremy Pena. Just one of the things that I do want to talk about, and one of the things that I hope happens between now and ALCS Game 1 is that Jose Altuve realizes who he is and what he's supposed to do when he gets to the plate. Because, Eric, he looks really confused.
Right.
Yes, people were legit standing in their socks, putting their shoes on their head. Or maybe they brought a third shoe to be the rally shoe. Well, those shoes that were sitting on the brims of their hats probably need to be burned because all their lucky stuff just got unlucked.
And as Edgar says, this is H-Town country. Whatever Jeremy Pena says, go for it. H-Town country, we'll go with that from this point on. Jeremy
That's
Pena
right.
says so, we'll go with it. So you have to give it to Bregman. He was 3 for 8. Sounds so weird. Tucker was 2 for 7, and Gurriel was 3 for 8. So those guys got a lot of hits. Maldonado. Dusty Baker did what y'all wanted him to do. He pinch hit for Maldonado early in the game with Christian Vasquez. Vasquez actually had more plate appearances in this game than Maldi did, and he was 0 for 5 with 3 strikeouts. Maldonado actually had a hit. So that probably backfired in this game, but I guess you're going to go with the better hitting Vasquez in that situation over Maldonado.
Look, here's the thing. Here's the thing about quote unquote breaking a game down like this. It's really hard to because every point you make for the Astros, you can also make for the Mariners. Like you can say, oh, well, they were terrible at the plate. Well, so were the Mariners. I mean, Eric, they didn't get a runner on second until the 17th inning before there were 2 outs. Every time someone got on base, there were 2 outs. That is unbelievable. And there were no runs scored until the 18th inning. And if I believe that's a record because Cleveland and the Rays went to 15 innings without scoring their first run. That was a record. So they just broke that record. And you're right. It is a clean slate next series for Altuve. I really thought that the Guardians were going to go into Cleveland and take care of business. And it looks like the Yankees are clapping back. And the Yankees last time I saw,
it's
5-3.
5-3 right now.
And so if they take a 2-1 lead, Cleveland can extend this to a game 5, but we might get, Eric, ALCS 5.0 or whatever you want to call it, Yankees and Astros. I mean, that is going to be a series because the Yankees are going to be hungry. They're upset. And you know what? But the Astros are still the better team, even without the hits, Eric, even without the runs. This team still, by all intents and purposes, is the best team in the American League. And Yuli Gurriel, can we talk about Yuli Gurriel? Can we talk about all the smoke Yuli's gotten all season long? And what does he do in the mother freaking postseason? He comes in and he shows up and he shows out, Eric. Yuli Gurriel, really, had they done something with his, that game would have been long before the 18th inning.
All right. 4 games in postseason history have gone 18 innings. The Astros have been involved in 2 of them, and they have won 2 of them. Of course, we already talked about the Chris Burke one, but the others were Game 3 of the 2018 World Series, the Dodgers over the Red Sox 3-2. And then you had Game 2 of the 2014 DS, the Giants over the Nationals. And this is also the longest that a game has been scoreless. since the national. No, it was the Guardians and the Rays did it this year. That was 13 innings and or longer, however long that was. But this is just crazy to see that it went scoreless so long, and it's just like you think how easy it is to just hit a home run off a bad pitcher. And like Brash, he struggled with command all year. You would think, oh, the Astros have a chance here. Oh, Robbie Ray, just bring in Robbie Ray. But for Seattle's credit, every guy they brought up, they overmatched the Astros for most of the game. And we were talking about it. It looked like the Astros kept on hitting down or under or on top of the pitches, and they looked overmatched at times. So did Seattle. Luis Garcia came in, did his job. So did Hunter Brown. So did everybody. And we had a Ryan Stanek sighting. He came in and did pretty good. So, I mean, Hunter Brown pitched 2 innings. So I think Dusty Baker did what he's supposed to do. The reason why he only used a lot of his relievers for 1 inning, Hunter Brown used him for 2 because he had a secret weapon. He had Luis Garcia in the bullpen, and once he used all he could with Luis Garcia, Jose Urquidy was there too.
So here's the deal, Eric, and the reason why I talked a lot about not having Garcia and Urquidy on this roster, which obviously was a mistake now, but it's because I didn't foresee a game like this where you would need a Luis Garcia, okay? But the fact that you had him on there was a genius move, and this is what's insane. Luis Garcia, 5 innings, 2 hits, 0 walks, 6 strikeouts, and they only had 3 walks total. I mean, the Mariners only had 1. You know, there were so many strikeouts in this game, and this is just one of those games where it's a pitcher's duel. Remember, this game has turned away from an offensive game and become a pitcher's game. That is by design by the league. And I think the league is seeing this. And, you know, you're going to see more and more of these happen throughout the future if they don't change what they do with the baseball, what they allow on the baseball field, so on and so forth. But I was wondering if you bet on maybe Jeremy Pena hitting a home run or Jose Altuve hitting a home run, or did you bet on the Astros making it to their 6th straight ALCS? Because if you did, I need to let you know where you need to go next time you do. And especially since it's football season, I need y'all to check out betonline.net. Betonline.net is your number one source for all your sports wagering information and your betting info for football. Find all the latest player developments, team matchups, news, podcasts, and in-depth articles and analysis on every game you can find. BetOnline is easy to use. I've been using it the last 2 or 3 years since we've been sponsored by them, and it's great. And as always, BetOnline remains your continued source for all your sports wagering information, live betting, up-to-the-minute scores for every sport out there. The fastest and easiest way to check in on all your favorite games and events, including MLB, MMA, boxing, and golf. Head to betonline.net or use your mobile device to learn more. BetOnline, where the game starts.
Alrighty. So a special message to the Seattle Seahawks. You do not have to change your kickoff. We have taken care of that for you. So I'm sure that does not help any Mariners fans. And I love the fact that the Astros are trolling the Mariners. And we have a couple graphics we're going to put up there. So earlier today, the Mariners put up there on their little, what do they call it?
It's called the Space Needle, I believe. And if I'm wrong, Seattle fans, my bad.
But they put a flag up there and said, for the first time in 21 years, there's playoff baseball in Seattle. And so after the game, this is what the Astros did. They replaced the Mariners flag with the Astros flag. Level up. So how about that troll job? And now we have another troll job. You ready for this one?
Yes.
This is even better. I'll let you describe this one.
Yeah, so this is a broom that is sweeping away a Believe sign, a CS Rise sign that's made into a paper airplane, and a CS Rise or Seattle playoff towel. I mean, this is brutal, man. This is trolling at its best. The Houston Astros, I still think Lance McCullers Jr. is running the Astros Twitter account. It's gotta be. We call this sweeping in Seattle. It could be runless in Seattle. It could be, well, we're not quite there yet in Seattle. So the bottom line is this, Eric. You have now created and set up a new city to have even more hatred for the Houston Astros. We might hear some certain blankety blank Altuve chants next year if you haven't heard them in Seattle, because they're going to be pissed starting next year. And this is going to turn into an AL West rivalry. I think that's going to be fun because they've got a good team. They've got some good players. But I am so glad that they swept this. I don't think by any means that if they would have lost that they lose game 4. I believe they clinch in Seattle. But to see them get to this point and fight as hard as they did and be rewarded, these games weren't happening last year. These games didn't happen to this team. This team could be by far one of the best teams that we've ever assembled, including 2017. And that's even with scoring 0 runs until an 18th inning game.
All right, so this is the first game in postseason history to go scoreless through 15-plus innings. That's what I was trying to say earlier. I didn't have the exact inning, but this is the third longest game time in postseason history with 6 hours and 22 minutes. So this is 6 hours and 22 minutes of your life that was stressful. It was just like crazy, just like, okay, what's going to happen? Who's going to win it? And it just was just a crazy experience. And it was just amazing. So when is ALCS going to start? It's going to start next Wednesday. If we're playing the Yankees, the Yankees, is that how I can't say
No, we're not going to do it. Don't worry about that. No.
Okay. If we're playing the Yankees, it's definitely going to be a night game. If we're playing the Guardians, it's probably going to be the day game because I'm sure they're going to have the NLCS at the same time. So, but isn't it just awesome the fact that, I mean, I know the Mariners are going to be a great team. Julio Rodriguez, he made some great plays. That one play on who was it that he caught the ball on? It was Yuli Gurriel. That had a like we were talking to some people at the table, and they're like, "What was the expected hit on that?" It was like 270, but that looked like it should have been a hit. But Julio Rodriguez made a great play on that. That team is going to be a thorn in the Astros sides for a while, but not in 2022. The Astros are moving on, and I'm so excited about this. I'm so pumped for ALCS. It doesn't matter if it's the Guardians, the Yankees. I think that the Astros will actually match up pretty well against the Yankees. The Guardians, I'm a little worried about. Not necessarily because they scare me, but I think that they match up better against the Astros.
Well, I think when a team doesn't have anything to lose, that's when they're the most dangerous. I mean, right now, the Phillies being in the NLCS is absolutely insane. If you would have told me when they fired Joe Girardi and got an interim manager that the Phillies would somehow find a relevant streak and they would beat the Braves in the playoffs, the defending World Series champions. Now, it's incredibly difficult to go to back-to-back World Series. It's even more difficult to win. But if you would have told me that was the case, I would have probably laughed and thought it was funny, just like thinking that San Diego would be in the spot that they're in right now. Baseball is the game where it still has to be played. And even when you outmatch the other team, Eric, that Seattle team, those hitters on both sides were baffled. But those hitters, when Yuli hit that ball, I think any other center fielder out there, other than maybe Miles Straw on another team, or if Jose Siri was still playing, doesn't get to that ball. And I wonder if I'm serious, I wonder if the air that is up there in Seattle, I wonder if it's heavy and it's humid and if that's what kept the ball suspended a little bit longer. Like if it was lighter, if it was maybe a less dense atmosphere, if that ball would have dropped or kept spinning away, because it looked like it hung up there for a really long time. But dude, Yordan Alvarez, when he dove earlier and he missed that ball, I thought that he was going to get injured. I was really nervous. I need from now on, I need Yordan to let the ball drop in front of him. Now, had he made the play, I'd have been like, it was a genius play. It was amazing. But that scared the crap out of me.
Yeah, and if you're looking at the not the Guardians. I'm watching the game while we're doing the podcast. But if you look at the Mariners, they struck out 22 times in 60 at bats in this game. They only had 7 hits, so you scattered 7 hits over 60 at bats. That's impressive. And then nobody besides Carlos Santana had 2 hits. Uh, Julio Rodriguez had 3 strikeouts in this game. Cal Raleigh had 3 strikeouts, and he wants to send a Christmas card to one of the umpires saying you did a great job. And speaking of which, that was a terrible strike zone. My friend Dan Reed, he's a coach at Austin High School, but he said that the baseball coaches, they call that a accordion umpire, and what that means is that the strike zone changes
It
constantly, and you never
expands and it
know.
shrinks.
Right.
Yeah, it expands and it
So
shrinks.
right. But at least it was for both sides. It wasn't just against the Astros. It wasn't just against the Mariners. So
Good point. And I was wondering, I was like, wait, are they going to throw in Luis Castillo in there? Are they going to do something desperate? But this is what's crazy, Eric. 30 batters left on base. 30 batters left on base, like individual hitters, 14 as a team total. 18 batters left on base for the hitters in the lineup, and then in the other box score, 10. Team with runners in scoring position. Both teams combined 0 for 19. So it was literally, it came down to one hit. I thought that ball was not going over the fence. I was there when Jeremy Pena hit the walk-off, his first career walk-off home run. My son and I were there, and I remember watching that ball, and it kept climbing and kept climbing and kept climbing and went over the wall. This one went up, and it shot down like a dart. Like, I really did not. I thought it was going to hit the top of the wall, and I'm like, if this ball doesn't go out. But it was pandemonium there at the restaurant. It was nuts whenever he hit that. Everybody went crazy. But we knew, wait, we still got to get 3 outs.
right.
It's only 1 run. And then Bregman got on. And then, there were some things happening after that. But 1 run, and you're like, oh, please don't let this be. And then Julio Rodriguez gets up. That kid, I thought after he made that catch, Eric, I thought next at bat, he's going to go yard. He's going to win the game for him. But that is a dangerous player, and that is a kid we're going to have to watch. And defeats like this can be soul-crushing, but it can be motivating. So that we'll have our work cut out for us next year versus the Mariners. But I love the fact that we are in our 6th straight ALCS. You got kids like Hunter Brown. You got Luis Garcia. We're not talking about Justin Verlander, Eric. We're not talking about Yordan Alvarez right now. We're not even talking about Jose Altuve. We're talking about Jeremy Pena and Hunter Brown and Luis Garcia. What a team. What a team.
Oh, whoa. The Yankees just gave up the Yankees just lost.
Nuh-uh.
The Yankees just lost.
No.
Yes.
Are you serious?
Yes, they just lost 6-5.
Oh God. I'm sorry. I shouldn't be laughing, but I'm laughing.
Oh wow.
Oh, what are they doing?
Didn't they have a 5-3 lead? We just said they had a 5-3 lead. What? They need to roll Miss Chapman back.
This is why, dude. Like, hey, I told you they were my sleeper. They're a scary team. They got nothing to lose, bro. They don't give a crap about probability. They don't give a crap about their opponent. 6-5. Oh,
they're the youngest team in the playoffs,
God.
too. And speaking of that, Luis Garcia did his best Roger Clemens impression in this game. And Jeremy Pena did his best Chris Burke. I know it wasn't the same situation, but still. Walk-off home run, not walk-off, but a winning home run is still a winning home run. And so even Astros were like, hey, Chris Burke, are you up? And so everybody was talking about Chris Burke because this is a situation that he excelled in that one game. And it's just crazy that this game went 18. And I think it was somewhere in the 7th inning or something. I tweeted, and I said at the table, I'm like, this is going 18 innings. And everybody's like, Eric, shut up. And I'm like, then on Twitter, I said, watch this game go 18 and Jake Myers gets the win. Well, it wasn't Jake Myers, but it was Jeremy Pena. So Jeremy Pena, Jake Myers, same thing. But 18 innings, man. I'm glad the Astros have a few days off before they have to face whoever they face in ALCS. But the Guardians do look like pretty scary.
Like I said, look, at the end of the day, you still have to show up to the ballpark. You still have to beat the other team. It doesn't matter what your record is at this point. Yes, the Astros took care of business. The Astros did what they had to do. And here they are in the ALCS. And everybody wondered, was the week off gonna keep them out of the playoffs? And then all of a sudden, let me just address this absurd phrase I saw on Twitter. Someone calling the Mariners America's team. Like what? Like, number one, there's no America's team in Major League Baseball. There's like an America's team for football. Everybody knows it's the Cowboys. Even though I'm not a Cowboys fan, I understand the moniker. I get it. But there's no America's team in baseball. There's the Yankees and the Dodgers, but they're not America's team, bro. Like the Astros, you know whose team they are? They're our team, baby. They're not anybody. They're Louisiana and Texas's team. Like Louisiana, our Louisiana listeners, we love y'all. And you know what? Whatever state you're from, they're your team too. The Houston Astros will be anybody's team any time of day. Because why? Because we are just that darn good. I am so excited about just things couldn't have gone better, Eric. Things couldn't have gone better. I know 30 left on base. I know all the offers. But this is what great teams do. They invent ways to win. The Cleveland is showing some what?
Small ball.
Oh,
it can still win games. Sorry.
Yeah, small ball can win games. Now, okay, Eric, let me focus here. Sorry. I've got like, oh my gosh, I'm off the charts right now. I don't know what to do. So here's the deal. Why couldn't we get any bunts? Other than Chas McCormick, why was Altuve swinging off the plate like 40 feet? Why can't we get some bunts? Like, I'm shocked. And I was a little disappointed every time they panned over to Altuve's face and he looked worried. And like all of us were saying there at the restaurant, Altuve, it's like he forgot who he is. He needs to refine himself because he is still the great Jose Altuve. And yes, I'm doing the safety dance. I'm sorry. I'm like, I don't know what my appendages are doing. I'm like, I feel like Will Ferrell on Talladega Nights. I don't know what to do with my hands.
Well, the Mad Hatter on Twitter just called me out. He said, "Dang, Eric, you called it." So yeah.
What did you call?
I said 18 innings. So
you did, and I got so mad at you. I was like, "You jerk! Why would you say 18 innings?" And like, oh. Now Eric's going to make a T-shirt, I bet, on Sticker Mill, right?
No, I'm not going to do that. I don't do that type thing. But
I'm going to make you a shirt.
Okay, so but I think that it's good that the Astros have 3 days off until they have to face their next opponent. So the bullpen, they weren't taxed that much though. Luis Garcia did his job, exactly why Dusty Baker had him on the roster, and Jose Urquidy. This is actually one game I did not want to see him in, honestly. I didn't, because he can't give up the home run ball. And I was afraid of him coming into this game specifically. And so I'm glad that they kind of stayed away from him. But if at a certain point, the deeper it went, you would have to have gone to Urquidy at some point. I'm not saying Urquidy's not good. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying that he does have a tendency to give up the home run ball, like we saw the last time he came up in the bullpen. So I'm glad that Pena did what he did. Everybody was worried about Alvarez. I think that they forgot that they need to still pitch to the rookie. And I know he's not a rookie anymore, but they still pitch to the young kid. And this kid has been doing so good this postseason. He's got a 250 batting average, but I think that was kind of dampened a little bit because of this extra inning game. But he's got a 794 OPS. But overall, I'm so proud of Jeremy Pena. Okay. He's my shortstop. I don't care about.
Look. Zach Curry says cheaters. Yeah. Hey, you know what? You know what? You know how we cheated. We cheated you guys out of a victory. But you know what y'all can do now in Seattle? Y'all can go have your "I made the playoffs" parade that y'all are talking about on Reddit. So go have your parade to celebrate making the playoffs. Congratulations! You got the equivalent of an I-9 participation medal. So that's great. Look, here's the deal. Come to the channel. All Mariners fans, come to the channel. Become a part. Turn to the dark side. We will turn you, I promise, because we are your father.
Yeah. So Garcia, great job. Pena, great job. I mean, McCullers. We haven't even talked about freaking McCullers. He
Bro.
was his stuff was so lively. He can even harness it. It was going everywhere. It was like going into strike zone, then it went out of strike zone. It was just so it had so much life on it today. And then he was upset with the umpire. Maldonado had to go out there a couple times, but he still pitched great. 6 innings, only 2 hits allowed. He did have 2 walks. I believe they were both in the same inning. Hey, you're not a Mariners fan. Take that off. He did have
Oh,
7
my bad.
strikeouts. So come on, Brett, you're better than that.
I didn't put a
So
shoe on my head, dude. Chill. I didn't put a shoe. I'm not putting my freaking foot on my face. Like, hey,
yeah, but I
rally,
mean,
rally
yeah,
Gatorade bottle.
I'm just I'm just so excited about this game. This was one of those. We're both at that 18 inning game. We didn't know each other back then, but that was so stressful back there in 2005. This game was just as stressful because there's so many opportunities. Like you had runners at second and third, then you just get a pop up, and then Maldonado. I still don't know what he was doing when he got caught off at first base with that double play. It's like maybe he was trying to disrupt the play. I don't know, but just you see the balls going up in the air, go touch first base.
Yeah, honestly, that was one of those moments where like you just want it back. It's like Maldonado literally had no business going off of the base. It clearly looked like I think he thought his foot was on the base. That's the only rationale that I can think
Right.
of why he did that.
Yes.
So what, 6 straight ALCS, the most in MLB history? Are you sure about that? Because you
It's
know
it ties. It ties. Yes. So
the
well,
Braves
I
were
guess in the
AL
American League,
the
yes.
the ALCS. So the NLCS though went the Braves went 9 straight NLCS and they only won one World Series. So Eric, I think this is the year that if they're going to win a World Series in the next year or 2 or 3,
Yeah.
this has got to be the year. And of course, look, I get it, Mariners fan. You're saying that we're going to get swept by Cleveland. Look, we don't even know who's going to play. Okay. At this point, Eric, I'm just going to say this. I don't care who we play. I don't care who we play. And you know why? Because this team is better. And this team has it. Even when they're not hitting, they're still better. Bottom line. And I think the real test we just got through having, and the other real test will be in the National League. And if we play someone like the Padres or the Phillies, watch out, team of destiny. But get used to it, Houston. Nobody is going to join our side. And that's okay. We don't need anybody but each other because we are doing this together. Locked On Astros is your ride or die with the Houston Astros. And I promise you, we'll be here every step of the way. Win, lose, or draw, it doesn't matter because the Astros are right now the 6th straight ALCS contending team going for another World Series bid.
Yeah, and I think this pitching staff is just as good as ones we've had in past, where we have somebody like Luis Garcia in the bullpen. Jose Urquidy has all the success in the World Series. He hasn't even pitched in the series, so it was good to see Stanek, and we know that everything's okay with him. Abreu continues to dominate. Presley looked a little bit off, but he still got he had a strikeout and had a shutout inning. But the bullpen it's just dominant. And I think somebody put up earlier that the bullpen ERA during the playoffs has been 0.45 or something like that. So it's been very, very impressive. So it just the bullpen is doing great. Now we just got to make sure Justin Verlander is the real Justin Verlander, because he's going to be starting game 1 of the ALCS. You can put that in permanent marker,
Oh
whatever you
wow.
want to do. He's going to be starting game 1 of the ALCS. Dusty Baker has
Even
that much confidence in him.
okay, so did Dusty Baker say that?
No, I don't know.
Oh,
They're probably
oh.
celebrating and everything, but we'll hear about that tomorrow. But why would he not start game 1 of the ALCS?
Well, I mean, did you see what he did in game 1 of the ALDS?
So Dusty
Just
Baker
saying.
said he's not worried
I
about
know.
it. He said he would start him
I
the
know. I
next
know.
day if
I'm
he could.
joking. Hey
Okay.
man, look, after a sweep, we got to have some kind of conversation. And hey, come on. Let's go people, catch up. The trash can jokes were like a year ago, bro. So that's okay. I love it. I love it. I love it. Here's the deal. Until we're dethroned and until we get beat, the AL is called the Astros League. Period. In the story. We're renaming it Astros League. And until you play Astro Ball and you beat us, enjoy second place.
You know who won it for the Indians? The same guy who won it for
The
the
Guardians.
Guardians. Sorry, the Guardians. The same guy who won it in the wild card, Oscar Gonzalez. He had a
That's
2-run
awesome.
single. So
Walk Oscar. If we get to the Guardians, he gets signed. Walk Oscar.
actually, Dusty Baker did say that Justin Verlander would start game 1 of the ALCS. I just saw that 19 minutes ago from Mark Berman. So
Mr. Corona goes, cheating jokes are so 2020. Actually, they're 1998 and you're 1990 late. Take that. Sorry. I had to do a
God.
full throwback there. What, dude? What?
Oh, speaking of a throwback, how about the Braves getting beat by the Phillies? That is just
Yeah.
crazy to think that happened. And then you have the Guardians. And then what about the Padres? The Padres have a chance to take out the Dodgers. I mean, this
Dude,
is
I can't
just
wait to watch that
crazy.
game.
So this playoffs outside of the Astros. I know it hasn't been typical Astros baseball where you score a lot and then just you have great pitching and they kind of maintain it. We've had to come back a lot. And in this game, it wasn't really comeback. It was just kind of wait for it, wait for it, wait for it, wait for it, wait for it. And then you finally get it. But I think the Astros are primed for whoever they face, and I'm excited. We'll talk about this more tomorrow once we get more details about what happens. And well, I guess we'll know about this game, but maybe the Guardians and the Yankees are playing tomorrow, so we'll see if the Guardians win. We may even be able to talk about who we're facing in ALCS tomorrow. But guys, for right now, we are going back to ALCS 6 straight years, and I believe this is also we're the first team to like win a playoff series 6 straight years in a row as well, or something
Hey,
like that. I saw something like that. What? Go ahead.
hey, real quick, let's hold on because Paul Valadez, our buddy, was at the game tonight, and he sent me a video. He was filming Jeremy Pena at the bat, and I believe since it's a cell phone video, we can show that on the show. I believe. So
Okay.
I'm going to get it and try. I'm going to try to send it. I'm going to try to put it in Restream real quick, and we can watch it. It's like a live reaction to painting. It's from the stands. I'm interested to see the reaction of the Mariners fans. So Eric, if you had a choice, Yankees or Guardians, do you want the Yankees?
I think the Astros match up better against the Yankees. I don't know why. They have maybe they have Garrett Cole. Garrett Cole scares me a little bit. Their pitching staff, I don't know. I mean, both teams are basically the same in my eyes. I think that the Guardians are hungry. They seem to be playing with some passion, and I think there's a lot of people talking about You remember earlier we were talking about the the new playoff system, and is it good? A lot of people are saying, well, it seems like all the wild card teams are getting the momentum, and they're carrying the momentum into the AL or the DS series, and so that's not going to be good. I mean, you're seeing teams like the Mets, the Braves getting knocked off. The Astros took care of business, but what if the darling Yankees get knocked off by? I mean, I know the Guardians are technically not a wild card team because they won their division, but they won the wild card series. So that could be something to kind of discuss right there. So a lot of people are kind of discussing that and saying, is this playoff system a good deal for baseball, or is it and is it going to promote people to be like, is this more of a luck thing or is it more skill? Because any team could get lucky at the right time and kind of win their way. And so, are you really going to go out and make that trade deadline acquisitions if you can make all these moves and then a team get hot at the right time and just knock you out? So, you're muted. So I'm
I'm muted. Okay, yeah, no, I don't know if that video is going to load up or not. It's probably gonna take a while just because that is kind of a large file. But what we'll do is we'll show it next time. We'll show it Sunday night when we talk about the possible ALCS preview. So, Paul, we're going to use that video that you filmed of Jeremy Pena hitting that home run on the show tomorrow night. So definitely check us out. You know what? Look, this has been an amazing season, Eric. This has been a long season. And if I could explain to our listeners how much we appreciate y'all, y'all have stuck with us. We tried to go live the other day. It wasn't great audio. We've had technical issues throughout the year with our technology. There's been times when Eric's been out, when I've been out, and all our guests and everything that we've done this year, whether it's been awesome, great, or just okay, you guys have stuck with us, and we appreciate the support. It means the world to us. We're literally here and we do this because not only we love it so much, but we know how much you love it. So I'm looking forward to continuing this run. I'm looking forward to continuing to talk about the Astros and do what we need to do to make sure that our fans have everything. And we've got a guest coming up this next week. Where I'm not going to say who it is right now on air, but someone who was going to try to join us last week couldn't. So we're trying to line up some other guests. I've been talking to Mike Stanton, going to try to get him on as well since we're in the ALCS and go from there. So we'll continue to bring in guests that when we can. So y'all stay tuned to us. Share with 5 people this week, Locked On Astros. Let them know that we are your team every day.
And there's 360 people in this chat right now. Go ahead and give us a like, please, on YouTube. Subscribe to us. Tell your friends to subscribe to us. And we reached 5,000 subscribers. We can get more. We want to get to 10,000. We want to reach that goal. And I know it doesn't mean anything, but it does mean something to us. So make sure you make us your first listen on YouTube, on Apple, Odyssey, Spotify, wherever you listen to your podcasts. Keep it tuned in to Locked On Astros podcast. And we'll be talking tomorrow more about what happened in this crazy, crazy series versus Mariners. We'll be talking about everything that happened in the Guardians versus Yankees series and maybe even the Dodgers Padres series, because there's so many interesting storylines in the playoffs right now. I don't know if I agree with the whole playoff method, but this postseason has been electric. So, guys, thank you for tuning in to this edition of Locked On Astros podcast. What?
Oh, no, I just said, yeah, it has been. It has been electric. Sorry, I was just trying to reiterate what you said.
Okay. All right. So that's all we got. And we'll please tune in tomorrow. We'll be talking about more. And my name is Eric Huysman. You can find me on Twitter at Eric Talkstros. You find the show at Locked On Astros. You can find Brett twirling his towel, and you can find him at H-Town Wellhouse. And we also have a TikTok, and go ahead and follow us on TikTok. We're trying to get to a point where we could do lives on TikToks, and I think you have to have so many subscribers on there. So go and follow us on there too. So anyway, that's all we got. We'll see you tomorrow. And once again, woohoo! Go Stros.